Hello everyone, welcome back. Another episode of Bitcoin Trade here. I guess we got a few comments. um, Usually when I do comments, typically I reply with a video, and a lot of my response to comments is regarding Bitcoin. I don't comment on all the other stuff or other videos I make because they typically tend to be I don't know, a little negative on the comments, so I just ignore those. Anyways, let's let's go with, I guess, first comment made was how to get Bitcoins without investing any real money. Okay, so there's your first question from Motyak. I don't know how to say that. Mote Yak. Um, and I guess somebody made a response. Mr. Bernardo Rivera uh, said faucet box. And so, yeah, you can do these faucet things. When I first got into Bitcoin, I wanted to see what it's like, and a faucet's a kind of a good way to get some Bitcoins, but they're so fractional amounts. Maybe when Bitcoins first came out and there were faucets, and Bitcoins were well almost next to nothing, or a couple dollars, uh, that probably would have been the way to go. It depends how long you would have done it. When I was doing it, it's basically you go onto a website and you just go to these websites and you do certain things, or you watch a lame video or a lame advertisement, and you click on links and everything, and you put in these numbers and everything, and you give them the address, and then you know you'll get fractional amounts of Bitcoin. And if you do that enough, um, it's possible to get maybe 50 cents. It depends how long you do it, but really you get like fractional pennies worth is what you get. Fractional, like Satoshi of a Satoshi of a Satoshi. And I guess that's one way. But to be real, I don't do those things anymore, because I learned that buying Bitcoin and trading Bitcoin and using Bitcoin for your own benefit was a lot faster to earn Bitcoins, um, without doing the faucet thing. Um, but of course, if you don't have real money, maybe you can try some fake money. Um, you know, when I say fake money, I mean, maybe you can try paying people with fake money that eventually disappears later on. Things that are reversible. Um, it wouldn't be right though, but um, that was a joke, by the way. The fake money part. Um, the only other way I know is that you can ask for donations. You can ask people to give you Bitcoins, and if they find what you are all about and what you're doing is you know worthy of giving you any Bitcoins, then you can do that. The only other way I think you can do it without actually dishing out any money, real money or fake money, um, is you can, if you have a special talent, you can offer a service, um, and someone can pay you for your services in Bitcoin. Also, do you have any like property or possessions that maybe someone would like to have that you can trade for Bitcoin? Um, I'm a, you know, I kind of I'm a little bit into guns, and maybe you could trade me a gun for, and I can give you some Bitcoin. Um, you know, or other stuff. Depends. I would like a nice car. So if you have a nice car, you want to trade me for some Bitcoins, you can do that. So there's other ways to acquire Bitcoin other than through, money, whether real money or fake money. So that's my answer to you. And then, um, Then we go on to Mr. Grant, Craig Grant, and it says here, great video. I share the same view about Bitcoin Infinity, and my goal is to have 10 Bitcoins by the end of 2006. I have 2 now. I also make many Bitcoin videos, and yes, I've seen your Bitcoin videos. I've actually been watching you. You know, I put a search up here of Google, not Google, but on YouTube. I do a search of Bitcoin. I usually check for like what came out this week or what came out today, and I want to like to see what other people are doing in the Bitcoin space. And anyone can be involved in the Bitcoin space. Anyone can make a video. I've seen many videos, you know, and I watch them. You know, I tend not to make too many comments or not to like. Although I do like your videos, I just don't want to, you know, some things are best left, you know, anonymous. You know, but I do watch your videos, and I like a lot of what you have to say, and you seem to be on, you know, the same kind of path, wavelength, or understanding, you know, from what I can tell from watching you. And thank you for watching, all you guys. Thank you for watching, and yes, I'm glad to see that you're working your way up towards Bitcoin. I hope that, you know, Bitcoin has changed your life as it's changed my life. You know, a lot of things here, a lot of things. Anyways, if anyone has a chance to watch Mr. Wright's video, you know, he makes a lot of videos. They're you know, interesting. He talks about a lot of things and his experience. And I think more and more people, as they share their experience to the world, you know, making a video through YouTube is, for me anyway, it's the lazy man's way of trying to get the word out. So, you know, I make a video, I talk about what I talk about, and then I just put it out there. And, you know, if you've seen my video, or if you encountered my video, you know, it's not really by accident that you encountered my video. People watch it, obviously, when I look at how many, you know, hits the video has. It's not a lot. Sometimes it's maybe a couple hundred. Sometimes it's just a couple dozen. Either way, for me, it's just the most effective way to spread the word. You know, I just make the video, put it out there. If you don't have a computer, you probably won't be able to use Bitcoin that much. So most likely, if you do have a computer, you have access to YouTube. YouTube is very popular. And so I use YouTube every day to learn and understand about many things. And, you know, not everything on YouTube is like 100% fact, you know, and true and everything. You know, a lot of it's other people's opinions and their views. But, you know, I do watch other people's video, not just only on Bitcoin, but a lot of other things. And so far, the concept of sharing, the concept of giving, it works. You know, giving and sharing with others really does contribute in a positive way to all of humanity. Sharing your feelings, sharing your thoughts, sharing your concerns, you know, sharing your ideas. And, you know, YouTube in a lot of ways has changed the way we communicate to the masses. directly to a peer-to-peer, directly pleading to anyone who is willing to listen or watch your videos. And um, the day of controlled media, controlled information is almost dead. And now the day where you have controlled money, controlled finance, that is also going through that same transformation, where now anyone has access, all right, to control their lives financially. And that's huge because, that gives you the ability to create money for yourself out of thin air. Just like a bank would, right? So, anyways, thank you, Mr. Craig Wright. I appreciate you watching my video. And yes, I've been watching your videos, and just keep rolling them out. Don't worry about what other people have to say, what other people think. And I hope you achieve your goals of 10 Bitcoin. I think you will. It shouldn't be too hard. If you keep trading, it shouldn't be hard for you to get more than 10 if you just keep trading and trading and trading and trading. And if you can keep your gains in Bitcoin, that's awesome too. And it's okay to sell your Bitcoin, okay? Because the only way somebody else is able to get Bitcoin, if you sell your Bitcoin. The only way you can share your Bitcoin with someone is to give it to them, or sell it to them, or however you want to do it. I see you take donations, and your idea of giving half your donations is a wonderful idea. I would say, I would just say take those donations and just give them to people. Just give them to anyone. Let them know what it's like. I wouldn't be giving them all the donations, small fractional amounts, maybe $5 worth. And just give it away. You don't have to really, you don't have to give it to a charity or anything. Just give it. And I don't know if you're using it for yourself or anything, if you don't feel like you have to or anything, but I like what you're doing. Is what I'm trying to say. And you can do whatever you want. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or anything, but I'm just seeing what you do, and I'm having some of my own ideas. I don't take any donations because I just never felt a need to receive any donations whatsoever. I do run a lot of ads on my website, and whether people like it or they don't, I don't care, because I can do whatever the fuck I want. And if I want to run ads, fine. I don't make a living making videos. Okay, the way I sustain myself is trading Bitcoin and using Bitcoin for my own benefit. Co-creating with the creator, becoming a part of the creator, and then finally becoming the creator. So, anyways, thank you all for your comments. Thank you for watching. Like I said, if anybody is watching this, feel free to go to Craig Grant, watch some of his videos, and obviously he's been touched by the Bitcoin bug, I guess you can say. And he makes a lot of videos. He has something to say about. He has something. You could tell when someone's really serious, that they're willing to go on camera and then publish their video to the world for all to see. He proclaims, the use of Bitcoin. He, anyone who's willing to talk about it, at least talk about it openly, without fear of persecution and prosecution, is definitely worth looking into. Just watching the video. I mean, how hard can it be? And he definitely has an absolute right to do all those things. And it takes a certain kind of person to make a video about whatever you are doing. And it's if you've never done anything like this, it's a different experience. It's really an interesting way to express yourself to the world, and to spread what you're trying to say, spread your ideas, spread the word. So, thank you, Craig Grant. I hope one day we can meet in person. Seems like you live out in Florida. I actually travel to Florida. I do trading in Florida. Perhaps one day. Okay. And so let's go have a look at the chart here real quick and see what happened. Well, you look at that. Right after I talked about how it's gonna a built-up, pent-up demand, or going either way, up or down. And it seems like there's a lot of things going on that's giving rise to this, or that push up. We're not out of the woods yet, because if you look here, you'll see that it's still right around here. It pushed slightly above, but kind of went back down. This is a really good signal. I like to see if it probably will push above it, because it seems to have that kind of momentum to it. The question is can it hit up to 500? It's gone up above this fib line, but it's really close. It's still pretty close. It's moved to this resistance line, but it's so close to the fib line. The only thing that I'm concerned about is that it may hit up here and hit this, and then go back down again. And it's obviously testing that resistance line here that you see. But if it can break through, 500 is that target. So 500 is that target. Once it hits that target, it may pull back. You'll probably see some kind of resistance here at 500. But I think once it hits 500 and it blops over just a little bit, if it can maintain above it, that's a really good signal that it's going to push up higher than 500. If it hits 500, put some limit orders right underneath it to catch it, because it's probably gonna, there's probably gonna be speculators, investors, traders, and all that going up here, and then they're gonna probably, sell, most likely, or have their limit orders, or they may even sell. So anything below, once it hits 500, anything below 500, I think is a really good catch, because once it hits that 500, even if it especially if it goes above 500 and then goes back down below 500, I think that's a really good catch, because the fact that it went above it from this high of 504, if it comes back down, I think it's a really good catch. If you can catch some, snag some up on your limit orders, and give it more time, and then all of a sudden what you'll kind of start to see is this resistance line, although it's going down, it probably will hit up against it, and then maybe bounce off of this downward resistance. Just because, I just noticed things like that. It just pushes above, hits this, and then, well, let's just drag it out, see what kind of scenario which we might see, which may coincide with this as well. So it may push up higher, hit up against this, come back down, bounce off of this, plus this fib line being a new support, like a really strong support, and then push up higher. So that could be it. And then when it's already hit up against 500 and broken a little bit, and then it'll bounce back, and then it'll just push higher and higher and higher. That's just my feelings. I mean, that's kind of what I usually see happening. So, position yourself. Um, I had an opportunity to buy as many Bitcoins here, but I really had set up limit orders to catch it if it falls. And I'm going to be probably doing that a lot. I kind of already have the amount of Bitcoins. I always have a little bit more than that, and I do trade those. And but I know I have a certain amount that I always want, and I'm gonna keep those. They're not really for trading. They're just there for my peace of mind that I have the amount of Bitcoins that I want. And so everything looks good. It's still you know it's still bullish. Um, there's a couple things you can do. I already have some Bitcoins that I want. So whether the Bitcoin goes to $1 to a bazillion dollars, I already have the Bitcoins that I want. And those are the original amounts that I want. Um, I'm not trying to be too greedy. I make my money trading Bitcoin. I don't make my money hoarding Bitcoin. And I think there's a difference. Um, when Bitcoin is unpopular, usually correlates with price. That's when I absorb the most amount of Bitcoins because it's just such a bargain. It's such a deal. Um, Another video I watch, I watch videos all the time. There's another person, I believe, named, I've seen a lot of his videos because if you make a video, you know, and you're talking about Bitcoin, it's not just a weird little, you know, infomercial. Um, Whether you talk good or bad about Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. Like if you know, I do like the 70-year-old rapper who raps about Bitcoin. I think I really enjoy that. Um, but whether you talk good or bad, it doesn't matter. But there was a person. What's his name? His name is David Seaman, I believe. And you know, when Bitcoin's unpopular and you're out there talking about it and promoting it and absorbing Bitcoin, collecting Bitcoin, especially when it's unpopular, yeah, it is a struggle. It's a huge struggle. But if yeah, no matter what happens, um, you know, you just have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you've made the right decision, um, no matter what other people think. That's what I've learned throughout trading Bitcoin and me going around. I've made videos where I go around all over the place and, I talk to people about Bitcoin all the time. I mean, I talk to you through this video about Bitcoin all the time. I talk to others. I talk to a lot of attorneys because I plan on being in every state, every city, every country, every nation, all over the world. And so, to kind of protect myself, legally and all that stuff, I have to talk to, a lot of attorneys. Unfortunately, a lot of these attorneys don't even know what the fuck a Bitcoin is. And, when I approach these people, they often, uh, the ones that don't know anything about Bitcoin are, often very hostile towards me. And, that's always been a problem. But anyways, I kind of digress there. Um, just talk about Bitcoin. Make a video. Even when people are negative about you, have you know have faith in yourself. It's a struggle. Sometimes it really, especially when Bitcoin's unpopular. When the price is going down and they don't see or understand the benefits of owning Bitcoin at any price. For me, Bitcoin can go to a gazillion dollars. Would I still buy Bitcoin? Yes. Would I still sell Bitcoin? Yes. I make money on trading Bitcoin, not hoarding it, because I do believe that everyone has to have a chance of owning some. And for whatever reason, at least not only owning Bitcoin, but using Bitcoin as well. And for whatever reason, they can't find Bitcoins anywhere or get Bitcoins. Um, I'll do whatever I can, um, to get Bitcoins to you. Of course, we'll be trading. Okay, I'm not going to be giving these away because sometimes it's hard enough for me to get them as well. And anyways, that's the update here. Hopefully, the price will continue to go up. It still needs to break. It still needs to break above this, which I think it's almost there. Although on the 12-hour, I'm on a 12-hour. This is on a Bitfinex, and here's your relative price here. Now, BitC has gone a little bit below. Looks like the Chinese market's really taking off right here. So I think this is probably a reaction because it happened. The price started moving. Oh gosh, it must have started moving around 8 to 9 o'clock Houston time. So that basically it's probably Chinese time. And I think this is more of a move from China. Because when I saw this, I was like, well, what time is it right now? It's like late at night in Houston, and so obviously this was the Chinese market here beginning right now, and so, well, if you look at an hourly, let's have a look. So right here, okay, so that's when it started taking off, and let's see what time that is. And I've had mine set up to Houston because Houston's going to be the capital of the new world. So 20, so 12, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. So it started around 8 o'clock. And so, what is that? Well, I don't know what that is in Chinese time, but, or Hong Kong time, or, somewhere around there, where Hong Kong, China is. So that's probably Chinese time, and then that's when it started taking off. So could this be the reaction towards stock market crashing, devaluation, depreciation of I don't know what to say, money going on in China, the collapsing, financial collapsing? I think so. I think there's something to it, and a lot of things are happening. As an investor, how can you make money? Well, this is the only way I can, my take on it is, if you have any kind of money whatsoever, whether you cashed out of your other stuff or real estate, if you have some money and you're willing to take a risk, go ahead and buy some Bitcoin and preserve your net worth. Opening an exchange account, whatever you have to do to get Bitcoin, try to get some. At least have a percentage of it as in your diversified portfolio. If that's what you want to call it. My idea of a diversified portfolio is have a paper wallet, have a cold storage wallet, have a online wallet, have several exchange accounts, um, if you can, which I don't any longer because I'm just so tired of Coinbase and Circle and some of the other exchanges that constantly asking me, what am I doing with these Bitcoins, and I haven't even used any of these, companies in a long time. They're emailing me asking me, what are you doing with the Bitcoins? Can you update your profile? And it's like, oh geez, no, I'm not interested. Okay, I get Bitcoins on a peer-to-peer level, sometimes on an exchange and sometimes somewhere else. Whatever, however I get them. But in any case, it's really none of your fucking business. You know what I do with these Bitcoins. So, anyways, that's my idea of portfolio diversification. Bitcoin's just a little bit everywhere. Try to have them everywhere. Cold storage, hot wallet, whatever. On your phone, on your computer, on another tablet. Just have them wherever you can, and have a lot of them. Have them in multi-signature um, wallets where it requires two signatures, and which you can be both of. You have to access it from a different, you know, email or computer or whatever you need to do, and a lot of security, a lot of two-factoring. Um, that's my idea of portfolio diversification. Okay. But for other people, I guess, whatever. I got gold, stock, housing, real estate, whatever, apartments, whatever you want to do. But, go ahead and get some Bitcoin and, protect yourself, because I think the time is coming where, you know, it's a possibility that some of these financial institutions may not survive. Okay. And it's possible that, and we've seen it before, with Greece, um, Cyprus, mainly as an example, that the money you thought was yours is not yours, and they'll be seized or frozen or held up, and if anybody out there has cash um, in your bank account, or you think you have money in your bank account, I would say now is a really good time to take to withdraw some cash, like paper money, fiat, and just have it with you. Not not because you not because I'm saying believe in fiat currency. Uh, so you can have it with you to buy Bitcoins, or buy goods, or buy your grocery, because I think you probably could start seeing something like you saw in Greece and Cyprus. Um, you see Bitcoin going up, you see the financial markets going down. I've been saying that for a while now, back in 2015, that it's not a coincidence that Bitcoin is starting to rise, and you're seeing the legacy, the old world market starting to fall. It's not a coincidence those two things are inverse, um, because they are the opposites of each other. All right, Bitcoin represents the new world, the new quote unquote money, and all this other bullshit, stocks, bonds, derivatives, even real estate to some degree, cash, all part of the old world. And it's not a coincidence that you see the old world falling and the new world rising. Just it's not a coincidence. Okay, they are directly related, and I've said this many times that uh, the old world will die, and the people of the old world uh, will die with it. If they want to hold on to that world, then they're gonna have to die with it, because they're not gonna drag me down with them. All right. Misery loves company, and those people who are miserable or are going to be miserable, they love company, and they will drag you down with them. So cut yourself loose, free yourself from slavery. All right. Break the chains, break the bond, take the blinds off, take the earmuffs off, and see with your new eyes, hear with your new ears, and speak with your new mouth. Speak the truth. Go out there and spread the word, and let everyone know the good news. That the absolute free will and use of Bitcoin is here. It's here for you all. So, anyways, let me cut out, and I can cut in later. And there's the current price at 450. Okay, went a little bit above 450, which is good, but it really has to kind of push up and finish strong above that 450 if it really wants to push up higher, which I think there's enough momentum there that it will. I think so. I mean, let's look at the 12-hour. Let's have a look at the 12-hour again and see that push. And you can't quite see it yet. It needs a little bit more time. But let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, so you see a crossover. It's definitely gonna cross over, because a move like that, it's strong, but it was kind of predictable, wasn't it, that it would just push up, break above. It was a little headwind here, but it did go up, but it stopped right around here. I like to see if it pushes up any higher. If it pushes up higher and higher, really good signal. If you see if this finishes and then the next candlestick finishes, you might want to take a chance on buying some above 250, because it'll probably go up to 500. You could probably put a sell order at 500, see if it'll bounce back, then catch it on the bounce down, and then ride it back up. So anyways, let me cut out, and I'll cut back later. Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm doing a little cut in here, and as you can tell, the price broke out pretty good, and from what I can tell, this is I think it's not a fake out. And I'll kind of give you my reasons for that. And this is on a 1 hour, 1 hour in a Bitfinex. Let's take a look at other price right now. Bitstamp 450, BitC 448, 451 on Bitstamp, and then Hobu at if you do the conversion, 463. That would make sense considering all the craziness that's going on in China as far as their financial markets. And so basically, excuse me, as you can see that it's really small now. This is I'm on a 1 hour, and see you know that it was really low volume, and I did anticipate that whenever you see something that all of a sudden has a big volume, then it shrinks down to a low volume, that's kind of like an indication like, whoa, you should be prepared for a large movement in price. And as you see here, it started really breaking out, touched up here, slowed down a little bit, hitting this fib line. You see the reaction, and then broke up and hit this long trend line that I drew out, and it played around here for a while, but then the momentum just kept going and going and going. Finally, you're seeing some kind of consolidation here after it reached its high of 465, which is really good because that means it broke above the 450. And so although you see this kind of look like it's collapsing, you see it's reacting to the downward trend line. Oftentimes when you see something break up, breaks through, it takes a tremendous amount of effort. I did say that the fib line and this line would create a lot of headwind, and there was enough push to break through on the price and stay above the price, and now you're seeing some consolidation is what I think is going on here, and you can see it's just bouncing off of this this downward trend line here, so it's bouncing off of that. So it is reacting to this line still, even right now, even though it broke through. And so I think this is a really good signal that you know, for me it's a good signal. Breaking through, staying above. This is just consolidating. You know, a lot of people taking profits, taking gains, whatever they're doing. You know, this is going to be kind of normal after you see a big move in price. Well, it's not that big, but it's important because it means, you know, for me that you know, going on to 500 is a real possibility. Hitting that $500 mark, it's real. It's within reach. And so let me back up here to a 12-hour. As you can see the 12-hour here, and then as you see the 12-hour here, and there's a current price right there on Bitfinex just moving around. Okay. And so if you look at the 12-hour, you're seeing you know, this line right here. I mean, definitely there is something to this line, and you can see it's pushed up above it, and it's just kind of bouncing on top of it right now. You see, and also if you look closer on the 12-hour, you can see it's that yellow, I mean the white line, the 10 period estimated average. Now it's bouncing off of that. It, you know, looks like it's also bouncing off of that 10 period average if you look at it real close. And you can see the longer term period finally starting to move, and you see the separation going on between the 10 and the, I think, 20 or 25 period average. So really good signal to me. I mean, this pattern almost looked very similar to this pattern here, where it just, you know, it did move down, but it's consolidated, very low volume, then it pushed up, and then let's see if it's going to bounce off of this, how much further, than how much dancing around it does. It may even, you know, like just similar to what it did here, bounce off the longer term period average, and then it just zoomed right on up. So we'll see what happens. When I see these on a 12-hour, you see the separation happening, the 10 period crossing over and pushing higher, and then the longer period average here pushing, moving with it slowly but surely. That's usually a good signal for me. And you know, what can I say? If it's a buying signal, it's a buying signal. Just follow your strategy and follow your you know, your plan, and don't hesitate or don't doubt yourself. Just, you know, if that's your plan, that's your strategy, stick with it. And now I'm going to pull back to a daily, and then in the daily you're really seeing a really good, I mean a really good moving trend here. If you see this, and my gosh, this seems like a distant memory, but you know, as soon as it started crossing over right around here, and what was that, barely at 250, you know, I was telling all of you that you know, it's coming, and it did come, and it's still going too. If you look at this, it crossed over, and it's never really, I mean, right here might have been a point where it might have, but obviously it didn't. But other than that, I mean, you're seeing it's never really crossed back down. You know, not like it hasn't, you know, crossed down like this. I hope you love that little performance. Apparently it's not over yet. All right, all right, all right, all right, good. No, 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 not yet. All right, bravo, bravo. Oh, no, no, not over yet, sorry. All right, bravo, bravo. What a wonderful performance. So, all right, so let's see here. You can see if you look at these averages on the daily chart, you can see they're not even crossing over. Matter of fact, the longer term period, and this is all weighted, it's been the supporting. It looks like this is what's it's supporting. It's this longer term period has really been a really good support on a daily. If you look at the daily here, and it's on Bitfinex. So if you look at it this way, I mean, you could see that it broke through, stayed above, and it looks like it's just coming down, but it may bounce off of this. Oftentimes when you see something break through, it breaks through and then it comes down, and it usually stays above this trending line, and then it'll move and bounce off of that. And so there's some really good potential that 500 is going to be that target. Let's see if it let's see if it let's see if it has the momentum to do it. I think it does. You know, it just never seemed to have lost steam ever since this point right here in this large moving up. You know, it pulled back here, but then it just kept on going back. And I think the same thing's going to happen here. It looks just like this, doesn't it? If you look at it, it looks just like that. I mean, it's almost a similar scenario where it moved up in price and it took a deep, not as deep as this, but it went down, and then the volume started really getting small, and then it just bursted up. And of course, you know, it correlates with the world markets. Everything's just crashing. The old world is literally crashing. It is collapsing around you, and you know, of course, I've already been I'm sure there's a lot of people that have already been saying that, but it's really happening now. So I think that has an effect on the value of Bitcoin, and I think you're going to see more momentum push up as these other markets, they're just starting to collapse. I mean, this is just the beginning. Wait until it gets really worse than that. And again, you're probably going to see Bitcoin be the inverse of what you're seeing in the old world markets. And so so there's that. And if you go to a 3-day, it even shows up even more. I mean, look at this 3-day. Look at that. The momentum on this is just crazy. And if you compare this to any other chart that has to do with the old world economy, you're going to see an inverse. The graph is going to be totally inversed. And you know, take it for what it's worth. And if you look at the RSI, it does say it's overbought, but really it's not. When I look at the RSI, I don't think of it as overbought. I just think of it as a momentum, the price momentum. Is the price momentum high or is it low? Is the price momentum going up or is the price momentum going down? Because when it reaches these levels, you think, well, this is overbought. People are going to sell, and you know, yeah, they did, but they didn't really, because it just came right back. And look, it just barely moved up. All it has to do is just move up just a little bit, and it'll move easily like 50, 100 bucks. You know, it's a different story from when it was, you know, here to here. You can see it's not, you know, a big move, but it's just barely moved. And from here to here, it's again not really that move, but look at the price. It's just voracious. And now if it stays above like this 50 and hits up against, if it stays around this 70 line, it's just going to go up higher and higher. And the momentum of it's going to push it up, the price high. You know, that's just my experience with RSIs. Just because it's you know, it's here in the overbought doesn't mean that the price is going to come down. It means just that. Well, it doesn't mean it's overbought. And to me, it means that it is the momentum is very high upward. Is what it means to me. Depends how you do it, but on an obviously when it's trending up, all it has to do is just to move a little bit and it'll go higher, and then it'll just move a little bit and it'll just even go higher than that. And so when the trend is going up, it can stay above 70 for a long time and just keep going, making a newer high, a higher low, a higher high, and a higher low. So don't, I've said this before, but don't be on the wrong side of the trade. I've been squeezed out, unfortunately. I wish I had all the Bitcoins that I originally had. I mean, I would have been way better off. But it is what it is. It doesn't matter. I still made a gain. I'm still in the game. I'm still trading, and I would recommend you also, stay in the game and still keep your trades going. And if at all possible, keep your gains in Bitcoin. If you do that, I mean, to me that makes sense because the momentum's going up, the trend is going up. Keeping my gains in Bitcoin will cause the price also to go up because every time I keep more Bitcoin for myself, it's just less Bitcoin out there, so they just have to keep buying, Bitcoin on the exchanges, driving the price up. So let's go out to a weekly and see what it looks like. On the weekly, I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's just, and like I said, you look at the RSI and you think, oh, it's overbought. It's gonna go down. Again, when the trend changes, and look at it, it's obvious. It's changed. If you look at the overall. If you look at the overall price here, it has changed, okay? So the price of all this has changed. You can see that. You can see it going down, and then you can see this gap, huge gap. And finally, it squeezed through right here and turned over. So when I said the world flips over, there you go. The world has flipped over, everyone. The world is flipping over right now, and with a push, with a good candlestick like that, I think it's definitely gonna push above this. There's some correlation between this right here and these right here, these candlesticks, but I think it's gonna be blown away with these next few candlesticks coming up, and it's gonna push to 500. Where is it? Yeah, 500, 504, which is that high. And then after that, I'm going to have to redo a fib line and figure out where the new fib line is. Because it's obviously, it's going to, once it breaks down, once it breaks up, I'm just going to have to figure out the new fib lines and see where it's going to go now. But, target price, 600. Once it hits 600, look for 800. And the reason I'm saying if you see 600 and look for 800, just let me see here if I can. Let's see, where is 800? Okay. Well, maybe not 800. That's a little too high, right? Okay, 698. Okay, 700. So I'm looking. You should look to something around here. Let me see here. Oh, I wish it was 800. Almost $700. So once it hits 6, look for 700 being the target price. So once it goes 5, look for 6. Once it goes 6, look for 7, and just anticipate that. And once it hits 7, let me see, how far can it go? How far can it go? What would be the next target price after that? Oh yes, 900 and almost 1,000. So once it hits 7, look for 1,000. Look for 1,000. Okay, remember what I said. This downtrend line, you just draw a new line, and that should kind of from the all-time high to the new high, and that should kind of give you some guidelines as to when it's going to break out. Eventually, from the all-time high, it's not going to be able to batter it because eventually it's going to just turn into a nice upward, very big channel though, but it's going to be an upward trend after that. And so that's the only way you're going to get rid of this triangle. Okay, and then the triangle, then the then you're going to see the triangle flip over. And literally, the world is flipping over, everyone. The world is flipping over. The revolution has begun. I don't know what else to say, you know. Anyways, let me cut out. Let's see if I can do one more video before I cut back in, and you know, we'll see how it goes. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm cutting back in here, and looks like we got a good push upwards and above, and it's been bouncing off of this very long trend line here, the downward trend line. It's been bouncing on it, hit the actual fib line a little bit below, but it actually stayed above, and then it's pushing up, and looks like it's bouncing right off of this downtrending line. And we'll see what happens, because from what I could tell, it looks like it's pushed up, bounced, followed this, pushed down to the fib line, and then bounced up, and now is using this downward trend line here to bounce up. And then on top of that, when I back up to a larger portion here, if you see that, and this is on again Bitfinex, and it's I'm on 12-hour now, but that was the 1-hour previous. And the different prices you can see here is 450. I don't know if that's accurate, but BitC looks like Hobo looks like they're the same price. And so, but if you look here closely, and there's the current price, by the way, and today is Sunday, so looks like if you look up close, let me see if I can get it closer. There we go. So you can see this has kind of been reacting to this line here, and then it's pushed down sideways for a very long time, just like right around here, right around here, and right around. You see the same thing, and then you're kind of seeing somewhat similar, not quite, but very similar kind of movement. But the thing is, right here, if you look right here, now I'm going to try to zoom in just a little bit closer. You can see it bounced off the fib almost to this average line as well, and it looks like it's trying to attempt to go ahead and move up on that and bounce up. And hopefully, if everything goes okay, hopefully it can make that push up and that drive here, and we'll see if we can get to 500. Like I said, once we get to 500, and I'll just back up to a week, because it's just you kind of see what's happening here, and on a weekly you kind of see that it's breaking out in the weekly, and so indications kind of should tell me that it's trending up. It's still pushing through. I think once you give it a week or so on the weekly chart, and this shows breaking through here, and once it hits that 500, I mean it's just bound to go up, from what I can tell. And I have a feeling it is, because as far as trading wise, I literally still cannot keep up with all the trades that are going on. It is literally hard for me to stay ahead of the curve on actually getting enough Bitcoin to trade. And so you know, I think a lot of people are being forced into these exchanges here, because either other traders are not selling, or miners are, I wouldn't say not selling, but they always got to sell. But I think you can be a little bit more picky about, I think miners are being a little bit more picky about who they're selling to or how much they want to sell, because why would you sell a lower price when you know it's going to be going up in price, right? I mean, you wouldn't do that, right? You would just try to sell enough just to cover the cost, and then try to hold on to some Bitcoins because you know it's going to go up in price. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know what's really going on as far as mining. So, you know, I don't deal in that realm. I only do the trading aspect and doing things in here in the physical world, trying to make Bitcoin very useful. So this is going to be a short end because I am exhausted. I have been traveling, I've been trading, and I've been doing a lot of things. A lot of things are happening in 2016. A lot of things are happening. A lot of things are moving for me, not just in Bitcoin trading, but actual, real world physical things. And I think this is going to be the year in which um, a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of things. I just can't say what it is now because I kind of just have to keep it a secret for now. But all I can say is hold on to your Bitcoins. If you're trading, keep your gains in Bitcoin or try to gain more Bitcoin through your trading. Uh, Average cost, buy on the dips if you can, um, because I anticipate the prices to go up. Matter of fact, I'm actually I can't keep up with the demand to the point where I'm almost running out of my own Bitcoins. And I don't really want to do that. I actually want to keep some Bitcoins, at least the minimal amount that I really want. So, I don't know about anybody else out there who's trading peer to peer, but I just can't. I just can't keep up. And if you're in that situation, good for you. Hopefully, you can keep up with your Bitcoin trading and not completely run out, and then the price just skyrockets. That would really suck. That's kind of what I don't want to happen, where uh, I'm literally literally sell out, right? Um, and then the price just skyrockets, and that's the worst thing that could happen. You're out of Bitcoins completely, and then the price just skyrockets. So I'm always in a frantic hurry to buy Bitcoins. Uh, so hopefully, and the weird part is, I am really being more and more selective of who I trade with now. I just don't let anybody trade with me anymore. I've got so many people trading with me, and they always want more Bitcoins that I literally have to turn people away, especially people who don't understand how to trade with me. They don't get it. I literally I'm running out of Bitcoins before while they're all thinking about it and trying to negotiate a price and trying to feel me out. I'm literally running out of Bitcoins, and that's why I'm not really in a hurry to sell to any new buyers, because I'm literally running out while these new buyers are coming to me and dicking around. I'm already out of Bitcoins. So um, and and I think that's going to be how it is in the future with other traders and people who are going to be trading peer to peer. Um, you know, and obviously they're coming. These new buyers are coming to me for a reason, because they can't seem to get Bitcoins anywhere else, and they're just trying to feel me out or whatever, or I don't know what they're doing, but sometimes I just have to turn them away. I just have to say, well, good luck to you. Um, sorry, sorry we couldn't do anything, but I just don't have the time to be negotiating with you right now. Just come back tomorrow. That's all I can say. Just come back tomorrow. Anyways, nothing's really changed here. It's kind of been a holding pattern for a while. As you can see, it's just kind of broke up and then been going sideways, but it's definitely bouncing off of this fib line here. And once it hits that 500 mark, let's see if I can get that 500 to show. Is it right there? No, that's not it. That's my line. Okay, let's just go on 12 hour then. So there's that 500. Once it hits that 500 and beyond, I mean, I'm gonna have to do a new fib line. And it's gonna have to be a whole new thing. I'm gonna have to figure out where to draw it from and where to put it in. And like I said, it shouldn't be too hard because there's gonna be fib lines within fib lines, and we'll see what happens here. And so, um, you know, it's gonna be interesting to see what goes on. But I do think the momentum of the overall pricing, if you look on a weekly, it's just going up. There's just nothing. It's really not slowing down. If anything, it's just waiting to break out and just go on a rampage, going up. In my opinion, you know. Of course, you know, you trade for yourself, but you know, I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be buying some Bitcoins. And I'm going to try to get some for myself. I mean, literally, I just cannot keep up with the demand. And if so be it, that means a couple things. That means Bitcoins are harder to get, or other people are having a hard time getting their Bitcoins. And or there's just so many people who want to use Bitcoin or trying to get some Bitcoins that yeah, I just can't keep up. And probably if I can't keep up, I have to assume that other people who are trading can't keep up either. And so, anyways, we'll see what happens. This is going to be the end of this episode, and so feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment, even a video response. Until next time, stay tuned.